catch me outside. How about that?
Number 10. Amy and Sammy. Business owners Amy and Sammy went notoriously viral thanks to a questionable display of behavior on Kitchen Nightmares.
Sir, the tip that you left the young lady's server, the owner takes the tips. No.
Considering their newfound status as the unlikable villains who pissed off Gordon Ramsay, they were the perfect interviewees for Dr. Phil.
I've eaten a lot of places, some nice, some not so nice, but I don't think I've ever had somebody come out and offer to whip my ass.
When they sat down to discuss a wave of backlash, the two were defensive rather than apologetic.
All those people you see, they were actors for Kitchen Nightmare.
And they were Yelpers.
They were not customers at all.
They maintained that they were misrepresented on Kitchen Nightmares and were not the tip-stealing aggressors they were portrayed as. The interview ended with Amy claiming that she wants to move forward, and she did so when she and Sammy moved to Israel. Even with negative attention and complaints from customers, Amy continues to work on baking projects and promote her business on Instagram. Number 9. Christian Aaron. Before appearing on Dr. Phil, Christian Aaron was a YouTuber with a respectable following.
I'm at the mall right now because I'm doing last minute shopping for a playlist. I was going to bring a camera and actually film and start my new series that I'm doing, but I decided I'm not going to do that right now.
That following would grow thanks to a controversy that surrounded the influencer both during and after his interview. While speaking with Dr. Phil, Aaron detailed his social media addiction and unhealthy obsession with what the world thought of him.
I've completely lost my identity outside social media.
His moment of infamy on the show preceded an identity theft accusation, which garnered the YouTuber even more media attention.
When is the last time you truly felt authentic?
When I lived in New York, so last year.
Though Aaron has made headlines for less admirable reasons, he's still extremely active on his channel and has ventured into the fashion industry with a clothing line. Number 8. Naya Tuiasosopo. Naya Tuiasosopo became better known as Octomom after she birthed octuplets. As if this feat wasn't incredible enough, the new mother of 8 already had 6 children at home.
Was it a mistake to try to have another child when you had 6 at home? Was that a mistake?
During her initial interview on Dr. Phil, the mom of 14 received criticism regarding her choices and capability as a parent.
And so you wanted this big family. Are they born with a job of filling your void?
She was single and unemployed at the time, which begged the question, how could she sufficiently care for all her kids?
So why did you try to have? I didn't. I tried to have one more.
Dr. Phil expressed that Tuiasosopo shouldn't be judged, but rather supported. Fans wound up following his example. Octomom now has a large social media following and shares peeks into her family life with fans. Number 7. Telly Zelli. Despite doing exceptionally well in school and earning a scholarship, a student named Chantelli dropped out to pursue a rapping career.
Everything about my daughter has changed. She's even changed her name.
In doing so, she became Telly Zelli, the self-proclaimed female version of Drake who appeared on Dr. Phil with her disappointed mom. The aspiring artist's unapologetic attitude was evident before she even started speaking.
When I was on the Apollo Theater at that stage, I was like,
While Dr. Phil and viewers were shocked by Telly's lifestyle change, she actually did go on to release music after the show. She was featured in Touch Money Sees Surgery and released the single Lean Me Alone Love earlier in 2022.
I did the dash and he thought I was creeping. Beds in the back and the front, but I'm leaning.
While she certainly isn't on Drake's level, she has made a name for herself. Number 6. Michelle Knight. Unlike others on this list, Michelle Knight became famous by no choice of her own.
I looked at myself in the mirror above the sink. I looked hideous. I could not believe it was me.
A survivor of the early 2000s Ariel Castro kidnappings, she was held prisoner for over a decade until escaping in 2013.
He would ask me, why do I think that? And I would be like, well, think of it if you were in their shoes. How would you feel if somebody took your daughter? Did the same things you're doing to me.
When sitting down with Dr. Phil to discuss the unfathomable mental, physical, and emotional toll of what happened to her, Knight quickly gained widespread sympathy, concern, and admiration. After a string of intense interviews with the show's host, the survivor made it her mission to help and champion others.
I'm a motivational speaker that goes around the world speaking on the behalf of missing and exploited children.
In finding strength and moving on, she changed her name to Lily Rose Lee and wrote 2 incredible books about her story. Lee now works as a vehement advocate and motivational speaker, not to mention a true role model. Number 5. Naya Tuiasosopo. Today, online profiles and catfishing are something we are hyper aware of. But back in the early 2010s, the online scam wasn't as widely known.
I want to talk about why you felt moved to create an alter ego.
Arguably the highest profile catfishing incident of the time was that of Manti Te'o, a football star who was in a relationship with Lene Kukua, the persona deceptively created by Naya Tuiasosopo. Tuiasosopo not only fabricated a fake online persona, but actually led Te'o to believe that Lene had passed away. The incredibly cruel ordeal earned Naya an interview with Dr. Phil, where an interrogation ensued.
What do you take away from this that's positive?
Naya recently received more attention with the release of Netflix's Untold, The Girlfriend Who Didn't Exist, a documentary in which the former catfisher revealed she is transgender, regretful of her past actions, and trying to move forward.
I've learned so much about who I am today and who I want to become because of the lessons that I learned through the life of Lene.
Number 4. Jessy Taylor. Prior to her interview, Jessy Taylor was a social media personality and YouTuber with a decent Instagram following. She ended up on the talk show after having had a viral breakdown when her account was deleted. The one thing she seemed to love more than anything.
You said, quote, "I'm nothing without my following.
Yeah.
I could never work a normal job. I'm worthless."
She explained to Dr. Phil that losing her Instagram made her feel like she was nothing, which prompted discussions of social media obsession.
No, because can I tell you something? Clout actually matters. Like, if you don't got clout, you ain't got you feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Sadly, I do.
Nonetheless, the young singer's meltdown and appearance on the show ignited a surge in her online fame.
I just don't have, any family. I don't have any guy that cares about me for more than a night. And I don't have anybody I could talk to.
She now has a new Instagram and is super active on both YouTube and TikTok. Number 3. Nicollette Gray. Fittingly dubbed a spoiled Beverly Hills brat by her mother, Nicollette Gray sat down with Dr. Phil to show the world just how entitled she was.
Oh, yes.
$1,000 pair of shoes, 5-star vacations, hotels and restaurants. Multiple credit cards.
Multiple, yes.
Complaining about her insufficient allowance and poor parental guidance, she was instantly perceived as ungrateful and severely detached from reality.
I want my mom to understand that I can't live off of $1,000 a month, and I grew up on a certain lifestyle. She can't just take that away from me immediately.
Just when we thought it couldn't get worse, Gray began to cry when she was advised to get a job. Even though viewers were stunned by her behavior, the teenager still managed to gain traction as a vlogging YouTuber and influencer. She also launched a jewelry business. These endeavors seemed to fund the luxe lifestyle Gray felt she deserved. So we don't expect to see her crying over having to get a job anytime soon.
I'm so tired from work. I don't want to do that.
Number 2. Ava Louise. When talking about controversial guests, Ava Louise cannot be left out of the conversation. After going viral for licking a toilet at the start of the pandemic, Dr. Phil invited the shocking college student on his show, where she proved to be an even wilder personality.
When you put something up on Instagram, how many people look at it?
Well, I usually get at least 26,000.
And that changes your life.
Yeah, oh my God.
While explaining her desperate desire for Insta fame, Louise argued that death is preferable to being ugly, which prompted Dr. Phil to advise the delusioned influencer to, quote, get real.
What are you running from so bad that you've got all of this image, all of this blah, 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 I'm wonderful, because me thinks you protest too much.
Since opting not to take the host's advice, Louise has continued to unapologetically be herself on social media. She is super active on Instagram and TikTok and isn't afraid to stir up controversy on podcasts. Louise has also seen success as a singer, with Skinny Legend Anthem becoming a TikTok phenomenon.
Bitch, I got Chanel shoes, they cost more than your rent. I was ugly, now I'm hot, so bitch, I can be your friend.
Number 1. Danielle Bello. If there's one guest we could never forget, it's Danielle Bello, the car-stealing, knife-wielding, twerking 13-year-old who was interviewed with her fed-up mother. In her 2016 appearance, Bergoli delivered the phrase "cash me outside, how about that?" in her distinct accent, essentially challenging the whole studio audience to a fight after they laughed at her behavior.
Catch me outside, how about that? Huh? Catch me outside, how about that?
These words catapulted the troubled aspiring rapper to fame, with her catchphrase going viral and inspiring her single "Cash Me Outside."
Catch me outside, how about that? How about that? Catch me outside, catch me outside, catch me outside, how about that?
Just a year after Dr. Phil, she became the youngest female rapper to make the Billboard Hot 100. A record deal, reality series, and makeup brand followed, making Bad Baby a name known nationally, for better or for worse. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.